Hello everybody. This week's Torah portion, the Torah talks about the destruction of the world during the time of Noach. And the Torah writes, "Vatimali ha'aretz chamas." The whole world became filled with chamas. What's chamas? So I say chamas means robbery. So first of all, what is the meaning of the term, the whole world was filled with robbery? Okay, maybe in certain places there was robbery. What does it mean that the whole world was filled with robbery? Second of all, I say that even though there were other prohibitions that were done, the prohibition that sealed the deal, that was nechtan, that made the decree to be sealed, was robbery. Why is robbery, of all things, the transgression that brought about the destruction of society? So the Sfas Emes offers the following fascinating answers. He says two things. Firstly, he says, the Torah says, the whole entire world is filled with Hashem's glory. That means that Hashem is the creator and manager and owner of the entire universe. And Hashem gives us resources. Hashem gives us health and food and resources in order to take what we need for our own benefit. But the balance of that is we're to be wise administrators, charity administrators, treasurers, to help make the world a holier and more godly place. So therefore, we're to use our resources. Really, they all belong to Hashem, but we're to be treasurers to administer them to perfect the world. Therefore, if people were using their resources instead for their own selfish designs, then all that they're taking is really theft, because it wasn't used for its true purpose. If a treasurer, would use all the money that he's supposed to be managing for himself, that would be theft, obviously. The treasurer can take a salary, but the balance has to be used for the purpose of the fund. Also with society. And therefore, because society was corrupt, the entire world, instead of the whole world being used for godly purposes, the whole world that belongs to Hashem, the whole world that belongs to Hashem became now, the entire world, which was used for selfish purposes, was now a grand theft, a great theft. That's one answer. It says the following thing. He says that, or to say that, of course, Hashem deals with justice, but part of justice, Hashem says, if you act compassionately, you deserve, part of your reward, what's just to you is that you deserve compassion. Therefore, I say, if a person has many transgressions, but if they even have one merit that shows that they acted compassionately, they create what's called a defense attorney, an angel, so to speak, that could defend them. And even if there are 1,000 transgressions, but one defending angel of mercy can make the person just be deserving of mercy, and therefore all their transgressions can be overlooked, because this person who did compassion, justice for him is that he deserves to be acted compassionately with. And therefore Hashem could overlook those other transgressions. However, in this case, because even though they did many sins, but if they would have acted compassionately with each other, they would have loved each other, they would have saw the goodness in each other, then that would have created all these defense angels, so to speak. And therefore Hashem said, okay, justice for you is that you deserve to be acted compassionately towards. You deserve compassion, Rahman. But because they acted instead with thefts and hatred towards each other, and they didn't treat each other properly, therefore they had no defense attorney, so to speak, and therefore they were not deserving of compassion. They were said deserving of strict justice, what they actually deserves, and therefore that brought about the calamity. I say to say further that the theft that they did was actually, it wasn't a blatant theft. It was actually subtle thefts. And I say to say that even a subtle theft, for example, for me if I'm at a store and I take a grape from the store without paying for it, even though it was just a grape, and that's still theft, right? There's really no difference in terms of the severity. There's no difference between a large theft and a small theft. Both are theft. Both make us into ungodly, unjust people. I want to share with you a short story that illustrates this idea of being careful even not to steal for a small amount. There was once a great tzaddik whose name was Rabbi Yosef Shlomo Kahaneman. And Rabbi Kahaneman was the Rosh Yeshiva of the Panovich Yeshiva. He was once in Germany, or Memel, the area of Germany, fundraising for the yeshiva. And so he was, while he was there, a person says, I'm going to Tel Aviv, I'm going to Israel, do you want me to bring any messages with you? He says, oh yeah, actually my mother lives there, please bring this letter. So Rabbi Kahaneman had a pen in his pocket, and he asked the person, can I borrow your pen? The man said, well, why borrow a pen? You have your pen. So Rabbi Kahaneman said, I have a pen, but the pen belongs to the yeshiva, and I only use it for yeshiva business. It would actually be a form of theft if I use this pen for personal use, and therefore I'd like to borrow your pen. Here's a fascinating story about how Rabbi Kahneman was careful even to steal a tiny amount, because a theft is theft. And even a small theft can make us ungodly, unrefined, and therefore far from Hashem. Let's all have a wonderful Shabbos. Let's all appreciate the importance of using our resources properly and making sure to always be honest and above board and act with transparency and integrity in all our dealings. And that merits, we all achieve the extraordinary joy of being close to Hashem and perfecting the world. Have a great Shabbos.